All right, Vernell. How was the visit?
It was really good. I loved everything about it. So it was a really good visit.
What were some kind of the highlights for you?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is just the interaction. I'm a firm believer in the people make the place. I think Florida State has all of the right people in the right position to be successful. And throughout this weekend, I was really able to see that, being in it for 48 hours. So I really loved that.
Who did you spend the most time with, just whether it be coaches or players?
Spent a lot of time with Coach Rat, obviously with his relationship with my dad, but I mean, kind of mixed and matched with everyone. Player-wise, I spent a lot of time with Kai Bates and Trevor Jackson, so it's really good.
Obviously, you're familiar with Trevor being, one of your quarterbacks last year. What has he kind of told you about his time in the program so far?
I mean, he just making sure, like, if you come here, you got to be willing to work, you got to be willing to want it, which is not a problem. Never mind working, never shied away from it. So I think it'd be really good if I come here.
Coach Norvell, just spending time again with him, one final time before you make that decision. What was his message to you, and just what stood out about your interactions with him?
I mean, he really reiterated the fact that I'm a priority. We just met with him a few minutes ago. So, I mean, just that. And then, I feel like Coach Norvell is one of the most realest head coaches in college football, if not the realest. Definitely my favorite head coach in college football. So I really think that was big.
You posted on Twitter the picture of you and all the other guys. What was it like just being here with so many other people on the official visits, guys that could be your former teammates in 6 months' time?
I mean, with this being the biggest recruiting weekend in Florida State history, obviously a lot of talent. I mean, it's good to mix and mingle with those guys. Some of those guys you would potentially play with at the college level, but I mean, it was all good vibes. That was good.
What's your plan from here on out?
Now with these OVs being done, sitting down with my family, kind of evaluating the pros and cons in each situation, and ultimately figuring out what's best for me.
Do you have kind of a decision timeline, a date in mind yet?
Would like to make it next month, but I mean, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'll push it back a little bit. But at some point, if not before my senior season, very early into it.
Do you have an idea of where you want to go right now?
What are the main factors before you make a decision?
Sorry?
What are some of the main factors when it comes to drawing out, making the decision?
I mean, obviously with all four of those schools, pretty good football programs. So I think the football will match up at each of those schools. I think the biggest thing is just worrying about those other factors, like the people in the building, the coaches, the staff, those relationships, and then ultimately the school and the location. Because we're living in that 7 days a week, and the season is only 6 months. So those are the biggest factors.
What other school you would consider?
Ohio State, Florida, and Miami.
Where does Florida State now stand? Where does Florida State stand after this visit?
I mean, this visit was definitely monumental for him. I don't really have a list or anything. I'm going to figure that out now with my family. So, yeah.
How do they see you fitting into their scheme?
Sorry?
How do they see you fitting in?
Just, being that playmaker that I'll be able to move all around in the offense. Coach Norvell has, he reiterated that he's done it with guys similar to me, with similar skill sets. And then he's also showing, with the past few years with bigger guys, like he kind of caters his offense to the players that he has. So with Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson, players like that, they're big guys. And he still found ways to get to the ball. But I mean, if you look at his track record, he's done it with smaller guys similar to my size as well.
Do you remember any of the examples of guys that he brought up that were similar to you?
I can't remember his name. He was at Memphis though. He was a walk-on, and now he's like his 8th year in the NFL. I think his last name is Miller.
Oh yeah, Anthony Miller.
Anthony Miller,
yeah.
That's who it is.
Okay.
So yeah.
Vernell, you got a chance to see a very detailed look, but what was kind of the contrast different between the other business?